Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
What's up and happy mental push up Monday, baby? We here. So check this out. The title of today's message is, oh my gosh, this heat is getting too hot. Thermostat versus thermometer thinking. So this was inspired. I've been listening to Les Brown. And, oh my gosh, like, it's a game changer, total game changer. And so he starts this analogy. He has this analogy about a thermostat and a thermometer. And I was like, wow, like, that's really powerful thinking. Wow, it's just amazing. But anyways, so he describes what a thermometer is and what a thermostat is. And so just think about it for a second. Like, they both deal with temperature, but handled completely different, right? Like, they work in very different ways. So if you think about a thermometer you put in your mouth, you put in your ear, and so it fluctuates based on, the temperature, your body heat. It just goes up and down. And then we have a thermostat, right? A thermostat changes the whole dynamic and temperature of a room, right? It doesn't matter if it's 2 people in there, if it's 12 people, like it's a room at work, you raise it up 1 degree, like the whole room just gets hot. You go down, it's freezing cold. So it just changed the whole dynamic of a room, whole temperature. So I think if we talk about how does that, you're like, okay, that's great, but how does that apply to me? So think about it for a second. Think about if we're thinking as a thermometer and we're thinking as a thermostat, right? If I'm thinking as a thermometer, that means that as life happens, like, I just go based off what's happening around me, right? Like, I move based on, like, what's happening. I just respond. I feel. My feelings go up and down based on what's happening, And again, I'm not saying that, that you shouldn't have feelings because we're human and, we're going to respond to life and that's just what it is. But what I am saying, I guess, in terms of being at the moment, I just stay stuck there, right? Like, I don't do anything. I'm just, I can't do it because of this. I'm almost like making excuses based on what's going on around me, right? I'm saying that this can't happen because of this or because of that, But if I'm looking at a thermometer, it changes the whole dynamic, right? The whole dynamic, just by changing that 1 degree. It can change the whole dynamic room. It doesn't look so much at, these are my circumstances. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's just, it gets done. It's going to change the temperature of the room. Like, it doesn't matter. It's going to do it. And so I think when we're talking about that, we're talking about the response to adversity. Right? Like, it starts to get hot, and sometimes in life, hey, it gets challenging. And I think we first have to acknowledge and own challenge is a part of life. Adversity is a part of life. It's going to happen. I know sometimes, and maybe this is just me, and maybe that's not who you are. But I know sometimes, like, I just have this cookie cutter image of how life is supposed to go. It's like, I want things to be easy because, just when everything is so happy, it's just so wonderful and it's just so great. But guess what? That's not life. Life is meant to challenge us and push us to help us become the best version of ourselves. Like, I think about in general, like, if you think about things that are so challenging, like it was a time like last fall and last winter, man, that thing was rough. It was hard, son. Like, it was hard because it was just a very tough time in my life in terms of, like, me really looking in the mirror and just really facing myself, like being okay, spending time alone. Like, that was hard, and so because I was so dependent on other people. But now, I could spend all day by myself. It's all good. But it was just a very hard time in my life. But, a lot of things grew out of that. Like, this blog came out of that. It was what I needed for the journey. Like, the things that happened, the challenge, the adversity, they're needed for us to grow. I think about sometimes the things that were the easiest, I don't know if I grew as much. You know, I love for things to be happy and copacetic and all of that, but I don't think I grow as much as when it's tough. Like, one of my toughest coaches in college, I had one of my best years playing for him because he was freaking hard. Like, he pushed me, he challenged me. I mean, and I was like, man, this dude is like crazy. But I appreciate him now because he taught me mental toughness. Like, his exact words were, "You are not mentally tough." Oh, just crushed my spirit. But he was correct during that time in my life. But it has pushed me to grow in that area, though. You know, it's pushed me to grow in that area, to be mentally tough, find grit within myself. So we grow the most when we are challenged. You know, think about when you're trying to get in shape. It's not easy. Well, you just go in the gym and you just throw water on you, pretend like you're working out. No, that's not how it goes. It doesn't work like that. So challenge and adversity are meant to help us grow. You know, and I think if we can just accept the number one challenge is going to happen, but it's tools. It helps us grow along the way. It gives us exactly what we need. May not be what we want, but it's what we need to help us be successful in the journey. Oh Lord, my phone went off. My apologies. And so check this out. So in terms of, so you say, oh, okay, that's all great, but this is the deal. It's not so much about the challenge. We've accepted the fact that the challenge, my friend, it is coming. The adversity, we're going to face it. But this is the kicker. How are you going to respond to it? How are you going to handle this? What are you going to do about it, right? Like, what am I going to do? Because check this out. The people that are most successful, they're just like you and me. They people just like you and me. They wake up every day and, you know, put their pants one leg in the other, and just like you and me. However, people that are successful, the challenges do not stop them. They are not controlled by what has happened to them. They decide how they're going to respond to it. And the response is key, you know. And think about that in terms of a thermostat. The thermostat doesn't care what's going on. It's like, okay, you telling me, okay, it's 50 people, guess what? It's still going to get cold. We still getting that AC blowing. A thermostat can cool a whole house. An entire house, upstairs and downstairs, regardless of what's going on in that sucker. And I think for us, what we have to do when that challenge comes, and check this out. This is why I wore this hat. Because we are the captains of our ship. And we get to decide, how am I going to respond? How am I going to respond to this? We get that choice. So when that adversity shows up at your door, because guess what, baby? It's coming. If it hasn't come already. You know, when that challenge comes to your door, decide, what am I going to do to respond to this in a way in which I can grow and elevate? How am I going to look at this? What am I going to do about this to help myself grow? You know, that's the beauty. We get the choice to decide how to handle the adversity. And understand, yes, it's going to be hard whenever we face that challenge and adversity. It's not meant to be easy because it's, again, here to help us grow and elevate and become the best versions of ourselves. So I challenge you, regardless of what the circumstances are looking like. For you, you may be in a rough moment, you know. You may be, you know, experiencing some things that are challenging. But please understand, it's all about the response to that adversity. How are you going to set yourself up to grow from this? You know, what are you going to do here? So, please subscribe. Please share. Because guess what, baby? It's all love. But it's the Dorky Jock signing off, baby. And I'm out.
Find table space to say